Bennett here, and as promised in my last video, I was going to talk about Bitmex, which is my preferred platform or exchange to trade on. And real quick, before I dive into the mechanic, well, this may be good. We can go through the mechanics of Bitmex here. But I just took a short trade about 20, 30 minutes ago on Ethereum, Ethereum to Bitcoin. And if you look at the chart here, on TradingView, it made this climb past couple of days. It kind of shot right up, and then it's just really starting to erode here. And as it started turning down, I thought I'd take a short trade. I don't normally take shorts on anything, but anyway, let's go back to Bitmex. So I did take a short trade. I got 15 contracts, which is, let's see, what is that? 0.18. Anyway, the profit is 0.03 right now. This is a small trade, I'm going to go ahead and put in my closing order like right here, and maybe we'll get 0.05, something like that, point whatever. Not much, but I felt pretty confident with it. And so I'm going to put it in. This is where you enter your trades over here. I usually do limit post only trades, and that way I'm market making, and I'm actually making a little bit of money every time I trade. If you come in with a market order, you're going to pay a little bit of money. The fees are very low anyway, but I'm going to put this in at 0.09 to buy back. And again, it's a limit order. So when the trade executes, I will actually make a little bit. It's like 0.0025 or something. It's kind of small. But anyway, I'll put that in. So my limit order, basically when the market comes down and hits this, that'll be taking my profit. I could scale out of it. That's actually probably smarter, is the scaling. Like, depending on where I think this is going to go, it may come all the way back down to here or bounce. I mean, if it retraces 50%, I'll be out. But don't really care much about this trade. I'm just going to take it here. And of course, it can turn against me at any time. So, I like to try to keep it simple. Okay, let's talk about Bitmex. Okay, up here are the markets that you can trade with Bitmex. And it's not like any other exchange, really, because it's actually a futures market. You're actually, technically it's not like all the other exchanges. You're going to be trading with fiat to Bitcoin, that kind of thing. In this one, it's a perpetual swap futures market. Basically, it trades just like the other ones, but you're using Bitcoin. So you load your account with Bitcoin and you trade with Bitcoin. You stay in Bitcoin. So over here, you can use up to 100x leverage, which is not advisable. I'll give you an idea here. So up here, the quantity, this is in dollar amount. So if we're trading Bitcoin here, I got a buy order just sitting here waiting for it to drop. If it drops, I check that. I may get rid of that or lower it down. See, what I love about Bitmex is I can move my orders around. Okay. What you can do on Bitmex you can't do at most other places is trailing stops, which is nice sometimes. Like if you're going to bed or whatever and you don't want to worry about it, put a trailing stop in. Here, I'll show you how that works. You can put in the quantity and this is if you have an open order on that market. I do not have an open order on this market, but I could trail it by $20. You put it too tight, it's going to get stopped out pretty quick. 20 is pretty tight anyway. But I mean, if you wanted to be more liberal, you just bump that up to 30 or $40, whatever, just to trail and kind of lock in profits if you're going to be away from the computer and don't want to mess with it. So market orders are pretty self-explanatory, but you have this leverage here. And lately I've been trading with 10x leverage, and that's about the max I would do. And to give you an idea of how that works, if I go to limit And let's say I'm going to place a limit order at 2,200. Why not? Okay, it's actually just going to put it straight on the chart for me. But if I do a market order, I always get nervous. I know there's a pop-up. Don't want to buy this at market right now. But for you guys, okay. All right, so here's the deal. I'm not going to do this because I don't want to pay this market order. I do think there's a pop-up in between it to verify. Well, why not? Here we go. Yes, there's a pop-up. All right, so with Bitmex, it's like margin trading, but they call it isolated margin. So in this particular trade, if I'm using these numbers, I mean, the worst that can happen, I can risk what I'm using during this trade. Now, the cost for this trade to trade for $5,000 is 0.2 Bitcoin. Okay. The order value. So with 0.2 Bitcoin, I'm controlling 2 Bitcoin, 2.19. XBT is just the symbol when it's a futures contract. So the liquidation price varies based on how much Bitcoin's in your account. If I didn't have much Bitcoin in my account, that liquidation price could be a lot closer. See, 2,000. So 2,000 would be the liquidation. Now, what happens at liquidation? If the market goes against you and goes down to 2,084, you've lost that entire trade. Like this 0.2 that you put in, gone. It's completely gone. So, and if I bump this up to 25, look what happens. Now the liquidation is 22. Bump it up to 50, 22.50. And if you got some cojones, 22.72. This number is low because I have a decent buffer in my account. And I'd literally be controlling 2 Bitcoin with 0.0251. That's some insane leverage. I don't do a whole lot of that because in my last video, I showed you, I play it safe. And if the market goes against me, I pretty much double down and ride the storm out till it goes my way. That's my basic trading strategy. So you can use these leverages. Cross leverage uses all of the Bitcoin in your account. And that can be dangerous as well if you over leverage. If you're just starting out, I would say stick to 1, 2, or 3 until you get the hang of it. So that's the way margin trading works. Now, let me move this a bit. So right now, you have a funding rate, predicted funding rate for this is how the futures their market works. So when it's negative, when it's negative, then the people that are short are going to pay the people that are long when the funding rate happens. And that's not happening. Well, it's happening in 48 minutes. So if I was long in Bitcoin right now, I would get 0.1123% based on whatever position I'm holding. This funding rate flips from negative to positive, just depends on the market, basically. And the purpose of that, and I'm probably botching this because I don't have a deep understanding of all of this, but the funding rate, if you read about it, basically says that it's to keep the market price on track with the underlying asset. And you can read a lot more about that. I probably said that wrong, but I like this because it's annoying to me. If I'm trading, let's say on Poloniex, and I sell out of a position, then I'm in USD Tether. I don't like that. I want to stay in Bitcoin. This is a long-term growth of building my Bitcoin stash is what I'm all about. So I day trade. If I was not day trading, then I would just do dollar cost averaging and collect Bitcoin on a regular basis, either weekly, daily, or monthly. And that's what, people that don't want to trade, that's what I tell them to do. Go to Coinbase, which unfortunately is one of the only options. There are other options, obviously, but For non-technical people, that's the easiest one for them to wrap their head around. And so go to Coinbase and you can actually set it up to buy a little bit of Bitcoin every day, weekly or monthly. And that would be a dollar cost averaging approach. And you would just slowly collect Bitcoin. Because, let me go to the daily chart here. What asset do you know that basically stays in a bull market? I mean, yes, we've had some turbulence here, but I fully expect this thing to just keep going. All of the experts agree that we could be looking at $5,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year. So, and we're in the middle of a lot of political drama with Bitcoin, which should be resolved in the next week or two. I think when we see that resolved, this thing's going to take off, blow past 3,000 pretty quick. So, whether or not you're a believer or not, I still say you need to collect a little Bitcoin here and there, use dollar cost averaging. And if you want to day trade, that's what we're going to be talking about here at Bitcoin Profiteer. And I have a private Facebook group where we're doing some other things to grow our Bitcoin investment. That's what it's all about, growing the Bitcoin investment and making smart trades. Let's take a look at our Ethereum trade. So now we're up to 0.0486 profit. One of the things I've learned is don't be greedy. Okay. Don't be greedy. This is a small position. Let's see. I'm controlling. I only invested, what is it? 0.14. So I've literally got a 31% return right now. So I'm actually going to pull this. I'm just going to take some profit here and just say, hey, look, what's 0.04, 0.05? Let's say 0.05. 112 bucks for a quick trade today. You do that a few times a day. Last week when I was on vacation, I was fortunate enough to make a few trades like this, very just nonchalant, and did over 1,600 last week. So, it's just slowly growing this Bitcoin portfolio. And if you're interested in this stuff, a lot of what, you're going to want to learn, you're going to want to learn how to read the charts, price action, and all that. We're going to get into a lot of that stuff. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing what I've learned, and hopefully it helps you out. But subscribe to the channel. Check us out if you're interested in some passive income, compounding income type of stuff. I've got a webpage on, I've invested a little bit in BitConnect and in USI Tech. And I'm really enjoying watching those grow. You'll see videos about that more and more on this channel as well. So hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.